So it's late season, mid-December here. Season runs another month. If you're still out there, what are you looking for? How are you hunting whitetails? There's a couple ways you can do that: hunting terrain or hunting food sources. The focus of this video is going to be on hunting food sources, so let's get into it and talk about it. Hey folks, middle of the day. This is December 13th, I think. It's getting late season. Didn't have much luck this morning, so figured I was going to get out and just do a little scouting around. We're supposed to have a pretty wet week all week this week. Forecast is on and off rain, so I feel like I can get in here and poke around a little bit, and what scent that I leave is going to get washed away. Not sure about your location, but where I hunt in Georgia, late season you got 3 food sources. You still might have some mast if you've got water oaks in your area, which this property here has a few, but not really anything on this particular property that I know of that's dropping. So then you get into more of your browse, and that's what I'm looking at here. This little thicket here is just full of privet and honeysuckle. So this is a little privet. Probably can't see that too good up from the camera there, but this is privet, this is honeysuckle, and this whole area here is just covered with it. The only bad part about this is it is low ground. It's down in a creek bottom. There's a creek that runs right here, so it's going to be kind of hard to hunt. The only way I think I might could hunt it is if I had a strong wind where I knew my scent wasn't going to fall down in this low area as the thermals fall in the afternoon, because this is primarily an area that I'd probably hunt in the afternoon. The point here I'm trying to make is learn your late season food sources. Late season can be a good time to hunt because whitetails are trying to, especially bucks, are trying to recuperate from the rut. So they've lost weight, lost fat. They're going to get in here and they're going to try to build up their calories to get them through the winter. Now, winters in Georgia are not that tough, so it's not as critical here as it may be in some of the northern states, but they still need to replenish what they've lost in rut activity. Now here, rut activity is probably going to pick up again next month, and I've seen them. Our season ends January 15th, and I've actually seen them chasing does all the way up to the end of the season. So it's a bit different here in the south because our ruts can get extended, and again, the food sources, we don't have the problems that they have up north where things get snowed in, that kind of thing. But still, find your late season food sources and key in on those. Now, I haven't looked around in here much yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll find some droppings. I'll find some signs of feeding. If you look at a lot of these, you can see where the tips have been eaten off. They pretty much keep the fresh growth eaten off. Some of the older growth from the summer they may not pay much attention to, but find your food sources for your area. If you've got agriculture fields, winter wheat, fall oats, those kind of things, they can be productive, but a lot of times the animals aren't going to move into open areas this late in the season, especially like here in Georgia, until after dark. So an area like this where they've got plenty of cover, they've got some good browse, is a good place to hunt. I've got a few trees in here I could probably put a stand in. Not going to be the most comfortable. I'll probably have to get a little bit higher than I'd like, and again, the wind is going to be key. All right folks, so I've found another spot. I'm actually thinking about probably leaving this for 2 to 3 weeks before I ever come in here and hunt it, but as soon as I walked up on this, I got real excited. I'm gonna turn the camera around and let you see. This is a thick stand of privet, and it's pretty big. I would say it's 100 yards long, maybe 50 yards wide, but you can see it is just, it's thick. It's green. You can't see it so much from this angle, but as I was walking up on it and looking through it on the angle that I expect the deer will travel, you can even see tunnels through this stuff where they've been feeding on it for years. Very excited about this. You can also see, like here on this tree right here, you've got honeysuckle. Honeysuckle is scattered through it. There's definitely honeysuckle at ground level. This is fantastic, and it's thick. As I walked up, I also saw, let me turn the camera in here, got a nice rub from this year, and there's a couple more of these around the perimeter of this, or at least the part that I've walked around. I haven't walked all the way around it yet, but this is fantastic. And unlike the spot I was showing you earlier, this is up on a bit of a ridge or a hillside, so my wind is going to be more predictable. My thermals are going to be more predictable. This is huntable. I've got several different options for trees. I don't know if you can see it. You can probably see all the white trunks shooting up there, but I've got I think it's a beech. I haven't walked around there yet. No, it's not a beech. I'm not sure what that is. It may be a stump of poplars. A lot of times when yellow poplars get cut off at the stump, they sprout out all these different trunks, and they'll grow just as big, but it'll be a cluster of poplars. And sometimes you can get up in one of those kind of in the middle, and the various different trunks around you give you enough cover that you can hunt it. I've also got this beech. I know this is a beech tree here. The only part I don't like about that tree is it's really kind of close, and it's going to be hard to set up on that to get a shot into the privet while at the same time being able to shoot into this edge, which is really where I would expect a buck to move through, would be on the outside of this edge. They'll browse these edges a little bit, but at the same time they're scent checking the thicker stuff for does. I've got a big pine. Let's see if I can figure out where my fingers at here. There's a big pine right here that I could probably hunt, but it doesn't give me as much cover as I would like, but it is an option. And then there's a couple more pines back here that I could probably use, again, hunting the edges. And I don't know, depending on when I hunt this, I may try to come in here and hunt once and actually hunt back a little bit just so I can watch and see what's going on if any deer move through in this privet, and then move a little closer if I need to. But I'm excited about this. I'm not sure how many chances I'll get to hunt this before the end of the season, but I should get 2 hunts in on it, and I'm gonna be surprised if I don't see deer feeding through here. I might not get a shot, but I'd be surprised I don't see deer feeding through here. So this is a good example of things to hunt here in the South. Again, I can't talk much about the options for northern states, but here in the South, this is a gold mine right here for late season, and our season runs up until the 15th of January. All right, so I'm out pulling a few stands, and I really wanted to finish this late season food source video up, and my lovely daughter is with me. She's holding the camera today. But one thing that I've mentioned a couple times is greenbrier, and this is an example. And greenbrier is pretty prevalent in many states, and whitetails love this stuff. The problem with trying to hunt greenbrier is it's typically scattered. You can sometimes find areas where it's growing pretty prevalent, which gives you enough to actually hunt, but in most cases it's going to be small like this. The other thing, as I can show you here, I've pulled this one off. This is actually greenbrier here, and what you'll find when you're walking through the woods is you'll see most of the leaves are bit off this, and a lot of times, I don't see one right here in front of me, but a lot of times they'll actually nip this off. So as you're walking through, you'll see a lot of these greenbrier sticks or stalks coming up out of the ground where they just nip them off at the top. So look for that. Again, you may not, it's really kind of hard to find enough of it to hunt over, but it is a prime food source for whitetails in the late season. Outside of that, I mentioned oaks. Some oaks continue to drop later in the season. Another one that a lot of people like to hunt around is locust pods. Deer love locust pods. Don't have any on this property. And really, the food sources that we've covered in this video is about all we have here in the South, or at least in the area that I hunt. But there are a lot of other food sources, and the key point there is to find what is key for late season in your area. Good luck. We'll see you on another video real soon.